This is Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox.
So, Jim, I know we like to talk a little sports on this show, and baseball is obviously our big one, right? And I guess the good news is spring training starts next week. Can you believe it?
Love the idea.
Yeah.
Love the idea. Still very upset about it, though, because the Grapefruit League disappeared.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks, right?
Yeah.
We grew up being able to see, God, I remember as a kid going to the little Coco Stadium, and it was the Astros back then, right? I'm talking about kid, like 5 years old, and then we got the Marlins, and then we, of course, it was the Expos to the Nationals, right? One evolution to the other, and then we drive down to Vero Beach, you go down Dodger Town, we then go down to Port St. Lucie down there, and that was it the Mets? Yeah. I mean, it was the best time of the year for me. And now it's still a great facility, but it's like adult softball leagues and stuff. It's like kind of lame, but there's still Orlando, so we still have the Braves over in your neck of the woods. But yeah, man, I love this time of year.
Are you trying out for any of those softball leagues?
Oh, absolutely, bro. So I'm watching Hunter play lacrosse. I'm like, I wonder if I should try that. And then I see somebody get hit with a stick, and I'm like, baseball's way safer.
Yeah. It really is. Lacrosse, I give your son a lot of credit. That is a hard-nosed game to play.
It's just it's literally like football meets gladiator sports.
Yeah.
And then I asked Hunter, I'm like, dude, they're like coming in, like winging balls at 100+ miles an hour at you. And if you can't get your net around, you take it wherever it's at. And I said, why do you want to be a goalie? This sucks for me and you. And he goes, well, the whole game sucks, but at least I'm not running. And I'm like, what a great idea, you know?
You've raised a smart young man.
Oh my God, yeah. Awesome, dude. Awesome. So here's what I'm curious about.
Yeah.
How are we turning this story into finances?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because starting this weekend, for a lot of folks, they'll be sitting down and taking in some of the Winter Olympics.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Are you an Olympics guy?
Not really.
Okay.
I think I like the idea of the Olympics, and then after about 10 minutes, I'm like, I'm over this, you know?
Right.
And I have friends that love, what's the curling thing?
Yeah.
They love it. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Because this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. But they will watch it and talk about it like it is the greatest thing ever, you know?
I will tell you, I had a chance to go curling many years ago when I worked in radio in Philadelphia. They opened the Philadelphia Curling Club.
Okay.
And they had an open house, and you could go down on the ice and try it. And when I tell you, so they wrapped some duct tape around your shoe.
Sounds great.
Instead of putting special shoes on, right. And you had to get on a little block and push off. Now you're trying to keep your balance with one knee on the ground, the other one supporting your body. You've got a stone in your hand, and you're trying to spin that thing and let it go at the perfect speed and angle to get it to land in that circle that looks like it's 3 miles away.
Really?
So I have a new appreciation for curling after I had a chance to try it.
I agreed. If I try, it's like hockey. I've never, ever, I've never got on skates, which is very important to know. But I never understood hockey until I went to a Lightning game.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had no idea what it was. But let me tell you something. Much respect for that kind of stuff when you see it.
Yeah, it's a lot harder than it looks. I like the bobsled and the skeleton. Is that the one where they're going down head first? That's a whole nother level of crazy.
Crazy. You're right. So which one are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to talk about the Olympics skating team for Team USA. Matter of fact, Jim, believe it or not, Team USA has one of its strongest skating lineups in recent memory. They've got a gold medal favorite in men's, 3 medal contenders in women's, and a world-class ice dancing team. Now, obviously, we know when it comes to skating, when it comes to figure skating, it can be a great performance, but if you don't stick the landing, then you're obviously going to suffer. So, Jim, when it comes to what you do, how can you help our listeners here on the Space Coast stick their landing into retirement?
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just repeat the conversation I had with Michelle and the team just a few weeks ago. And it's this problem that I see, okay? Mm-hmm. And so let me just warn you, I'm probably going to get wacky in a few minutes here.
But I just going to come out?
I don't know if they're going to come out, but I'm going to rant for just a few minutes because I'm as guilty of this in my early part of my career as everybody else. But, when you're helping people accumulate money for retirement, it's almost like you're layering, you're adding more things to the table, right? So, hey, Kevin, you're looking to retire in 17 years. Let's buy this stock. Let's buy this mutual fund. Let's buy this ETF. Well, when you're 20, it was buy this, buy that, or there's this annuity, that annuity. And the way that I kind of explain it is I want you to imagine you have this table, and this table is huge, and it is filled, Kevin, with pastas and vegetables and herbs herbs and meats, and you have all these things that you're looking at, right?
Right.
And all those things are your different financial products, right? Now, here's the problem. What are we going to make with that? People's always sold me ingredients for the past 40 years. Some of them have been really good. Some of them have not been great. But if we don't have a good recipe to put it all together, we can't make... Listen, if you are all about vegetable soup and I bring you a lasagna, we're in trouble, right? I mean, that's the whole point, is that my industry has done a horrific job for most people of actually putting together a solid plan that makes sense. Instead, it's been layered with product after product. I literally see people that come into my office who went to 3 different workshops and own 3 different annuities. And then I look at them and go, why do you have an annuity? It doesn't make sense. I don't know. The guy told me that's what I needed to have. But you don't need income. You don't have any family that you're going to leave the money to. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Or the other thing happens. Why are you in all these risky stocks when you are obviously very conservative? And that is the issue that I see, is that people in my industry have been selling and selling and selling things to people, but not with that long-term vision and that long-term plan. So then somebody comes to me. By the way, Kevin, I am not talking about 56-year-olds. I'm not talking about 63-year-olds. I have people that are in their 70s that still have a table full of things that they don't understand how they work and how it ties in to their retirement needs. Listen, every person that's hearing my voice right now has a different goal in retirement. Yeah, it might look similar to Mary's. It might look similar to Uncle Bob's, but the reality is everybody has a different path. I see it every day. And my biggest challenge is to unravel all of this nonsense that people own and package it in a way that works for their goals, sticking that landing, right? You know, it's crazy because it's actually relatively easy. If you came to me with one big old bucket of money and then I can just start slicing it up, if you have a special needs child and the big thing is you want to make sure that that child is taken care of for the rest of his life, I know how to do that. If you want to make sure that your parents, because you have health problems, but your parents are living much longer, I can do it. You want to get the maximum rate of return, take the maximum risk, I can do it. You want to make sure that your kids inherit the maximum amount of money tax-free, I can do it. But the problem is I need to take all of this mess and turn it into something that just makes sense. And the problem is that so few people do that. 80-year-olds come to me, and I literally had one the other day, and I said, why are we paying $3,200 a quarter? $3,200 a quarter, Kevin. That's times 4 for annual. That's $12,000+ a year for $300,000 of life insurance. Now, you ready for this?
Yeah.
They had $1.9 million in the markets.
Wow.
Why? Because a dude convinced them that this would help pay the taxes. And he's not wrong, but it's not logical to me. Like, I don't get it. If you have a valid reason, take it. But these are the issues that I look at every day. And our clients come to and I love it, man. I love it when my clients give me a call. One of my favorite clients is a Delta pilot, and he flies all over. I mean, like to Tokyo, and then he's to Korea, and then he's down to South Africa. So his schedule is wacky, right? That dude will call me and leave me messages at 3 a.m. And he always starts with, hey man, I'm a pilot, so I do a lot of studying, so this probably is going to drive you crazy. But, and he's always like, what about this? What about that? How can I make this work? That is awesome. And for somebody like him, making sense of these pieces work. But how many other people really want to spend the time trying to dissect every piece of their retirement? They want to live. They want to go spend time with their grandkids. Like, just think about that. My cousin's wife was talking to Michelle. His son is finally getting married. And she says, I can't wait to become a grandma. Now, she's our age, right? She can't wait. So the point that I'm trying to make is that you have all this money. You have all these products. Some of you have all these advisors. I met people with 3 advisors.
Jeez.
I don't understand how you even do that nonsense. why don't you just want to have simplicity in your life? Why don't you want to have something that just makes sense? Something goes from point A to point B and checks all the boxes that matter for you. Some of you guys is tax efficiency. Some of it's reducing risk. Some of you guys is about taking care of children. Some of you guys want to bounce the last check to the IRS. Literally, I've heard every conceivable thing that you can think of. Yet my industry as a whole has failed in providing people with that opportunity. Hence the reason why we went from the stupidest name in radio, 321 Retirement, right, to Financial Straight Talk, because we want you to get it straight. Let me be super clear. I don't care if it's me or if it's somebody down the street. You make sure someone that you're dealing with is focused on accomplishing your goals and putting your plan together in a way that makes the most sense for you. In our office, I always tell people there's 3 big parts of retirement. What do I get for income? How much do I pay in taxes? And what happens when I die? Those are the 3 big things that matter to most people. And most people in this industry want to talk about how much rate of return we're going to get you, and they don't think about the other stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not a retirement plan. We want to build a plan that makes sense for you. We want to help you stick that landing, because here's the problem. If you're an Olympic gold medalist or a silver medalist or a bronze or whatever, and you fall down, there's always next year.
Right.
But when you're in retirement and you're 60 years old and you don't do it right with your retirement, imagine what it feels like to go back to work at 69 or 73. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I'm talking about. Let's get together. Let's build a plan. Let's make this work for you. And it all starts with a simple phone call. 321-414-7526. Again, 321-414-PLAN.
Yeah, if you're tuned in today, you're approaching retirement and you'd like to stick the landing, much like Team USA is looking to do in Italy as the Olympics kick off this weekend. Give Jim Fox and his team at Wadadley Financial Group a call today. Get on his calendar by dialing 321-414-7526. We do have teammates standing by to get you lined up today at 321-414-PLAN, or you can always visit Jim online at getfst.com. That stands for Financial Straight Talk, by the way. Getfst.com. Well, Jim, I'm glad to see your blood pressure has come back down to a normal rate. And before we run out of time on this week's show, sir, the floor is once again all yours for the final word.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, guys, every week, Kevin and I say the same thing. We know that you have tons of options when it comes to getting financial information, and we're just honored to be one of those resources. So like you said, if there's anything we can do, pick up the phone, give us a call. We're standing by to help you out. But with all that being said, on behalf of myself and Mr. Kevin Mack, I want to thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Financial Straight Talk.
Thanks for listening to Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox. To learn more, visit getfst.com.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Wadadley Financial Group. Wadadley Financial Group is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Wadadley Financial Group are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Wadadley Financial Group is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any government agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Wadadley Financial Group.